What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Lobola challenge. I keep messing that up, but anyway, welcome back to another episode of the Lobola challenge. I hope everyone is doing good. I hope we're all fine. This week we're okay. We're doing good. Everything seems to be looking up on the account, and let's get straight into it. Let's not waste any time. Our current ZAR account value is sitting at 3,333. I think it's been at this price before, but regardless, the movement in our holdings is 1,345 rand, which is plus 67%, which again, like I said, I think we've had something similar before. And then when we look at our holdings, things are looking slightly positive. Capitec is ever so slightly up. First Rand is ever so slightly down, so they kind of cancel out each other. But I think Sasol is improving. The price has gotten better on Sasol, and that will be the main topic that we discuss today, just looking at Sasol a bit. And then to look at our USD account, the account value is $370.69. Total profit on that is $239.32. Profit and loss position is 182.17%. Really good on there. If we actually look at our holdings, Tesla just keeps going higher and higher. Microsoft, finally we've got it in the green, but by a very small amount. Same thing with JP Morgan. These two are pretty much moving sideways. A consideration that I've been having and that I'm still having is to actually get rid of these two positions and either put it into Apple or put these two positions back into Tesla, get a bit more Tesla in them. But I'll need to see. I try my best not to be hasty on this account. Okay, then if we take it over to our spreadsheet, like you can see, the ZAR account, we went over the amount, the total profit and loss, and what we need to see is essentially we've gone up by about 14%, which is about 293 rand in value. So a positive week for us, I feel. If we go on over to the USD account, same thing, we've gone up by a decent amount of money, almost about, what is this, $23, which I think is quite good. I think we've had a really good week this past week. Very slow week in terms of news and things that are happening in the market. So not that it can't really be explained, but and then we look at the combined account, we've still only contributed 4,500 rand, but our balance is sitting on 9,658. I actually thought that we had passed the 10,000 rand mark. I might actually even delay adding our next 500 just so that we can properly pass that the 10,000 rand threshold just on this 4.5. For me, that's something I'd like to see. It's just an accomplishment that I'd like us to have. And then total profit and loss, 114%, really good. We're up by about 13% from last week, and we've added another 622 rand to the account versus last week. So all in all, a really good week for the Lobola challenge. Those cows are slowly but surely building up. So we're gonna jump in quickly and take a look at Sasol to see how Sasol is doing this week. As you know, it's one of the bigger positions that we have on the account, and I've been a big advocate of Sasol. My only problem with Sasol is there's a guy on Twitter who calls it EMS Twitter, is that sometimes people get overexcited, or they are quick to jump if Sasol is moving in a particular direction or some news comes out on Sasol. And what you need to do with this company or stock is you just need to learn to be patient, because Sasol have a bigger problem. One of the things that we need to go over at some point is the macroeconomic environment and actually see how that affects what a company does or doesn't do, or how they're able to work. Sasol, being an energy or chemicals company, is heavily reliant on the world's macroeconomic environment, not just the South African one, because they're dealing with chemicals, specifically petrol or fuel or crude oil or oil, whatever you want to call it. And because there's a lot of instability right now between the US government and OPEC surrounding how things will be governed in terms of oil. It's actually driven the price of oil down, and what that actually does is that as the price decreases, so does demand. And I think you pair that with the fact that we've currently been on lockdown for the past however many months. No one is driving, no one has anywhere to go. Like the need for fuel has gone down, so demand overall is really low, meaning that Sasol are not able to make huge sums of money just because the demand for their product is low, and as a result their share price is down, and I think their earnings were quite bad. I think it was a really significant loss. I mean, even if you look at their PE ratio, they've now got a negative PE ratio because I think their EPS as well is negative. So it's really not been a good time for Sasol. But here's what I'm saying to you. Just go look at an article or read something about Sasol and what Sasol, I think the South African CEO, is saying. And, he pretty much goes through all of the troubles that the company is having, giving the normal spiel of how they're trying to cut costs. They are trying to, freeze hiring, all of the like to try and cut costs, which is all good and well. But for me, the biggest thing or problem with Sasol is the debt. They really have a lot of debt, and once they start dealing with that debt effectively, like they've said that they're going to do, I think Sasol will eventually get back to the days of it being a 500 rand share. So for that reason, I'm still very positive and optimistic about Sasol. Even if it were to go down, I think I'm in a position where I'd actually like to get some more. Maybe we'll liquidate the first rand position and the Capitec position and just go all in on Sasol, because I really think long-term Sasol is going to do the things that it needs to do to get us to that 200% we're chasing on this account. Currently, as you can see, the consensus is that the stock is a hold, but in my opinion, I still think Sasol is a buy. And yeah, I think it's still a really good company, a company that we should be looking out for. And I just actually want to show you just something from their financials, because it is also important that we look into companies' financials. We can't just go on what we're getting from MoneyWeb or any other site like that. And here you'll see their earnings analysis. They actually show you the this EBITDA number, what I think it's earnings before income tax, something like that. It essentially means all of the money that they get before they start with their deductions and all the like. That's generally the metric by which companies are judged or looked at. But here's the important thing that I want us to look at: your basic loss or earnings per share, which is at a negative 147 rand per share, which is really bad. That is quite bad compared to last year's 6 rand 97. And if you actually look at the headline earnings or loss per share, it's 11 rand 79, which again is not looking quite good. Currently, I think Sasol have a variety of problems or a variety of issues that they're dealing with. But for me personally, if they were to just deal with their debt and get their debt right, I think then Sasol, or good things can actually come out of Sasol. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this company. I'm going to stay in it. If the price drops some more, I'll definitely liquidate the Capitec and first rand positions to get back into Sasol some more, because I'm telling you, Sasol will get back to decent levels within at least the next year or so. So I'm confident, I have the utmost confidence in this stock. And any day in the news where you hear Sasol share prices dipped, I'm telling you, go in, you'll thank me later. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Again, been another episode of the Lobola challenge. Please don't forget our 2 giveaways. End of September, 5,000 subs, 2 people get 5,000 rand in their account. And end of the year, if we get to 50,000 subs, 50,000 rand in one person's trading account. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed today's episode.